Just Mobile versus Skinit iPhone 11 Pro cases. Let's check them out. Dave Taylor here, and I have my iPhone 11 Pro and it needs a case. So I've been looking at lots of cases from lots of different case companies, and I got two more manufacturers to look at today. We're going to look at Skinit, and that's these two. These are their impact cases. And we're also going to look at the Just Mobile 10C Air. Now, let's start with this, because 10C, T-E-N-C, stands for the Emperor's New Clothes. It says so right on the back. So, interesting metaphysical statement there, but whatever. So, there's three things I look at when I'm looking at an iPhone case. The first one is basic fit and finish. Does it have all the cutouts in exactly the right place so that your phone is in great shape? The second one is, does it have some sort of a bezel so that it actually protects the front screen of the phone? And then the third one, of course, is, does it charge wirelessly? And for that, we have our Fuse Chicken wireless Qi charging device. So let's start with this. This is the 10C Air, and as you can see, it is, yes, transparent. It's actually very nice, and it's kind of interesting because it's a combination of two different materials. So the back is actually pretty rigid. This is an anti-scratch hard back or hard shell back, and then the sides are a little softer. They're shock-proof thermoplastic. So the idea is that if you hit things on the side, it's going to absorb the impact. So, decent idea. Let's see how it actually works. So, phone goes in easily enough, and you can see here in the close-ups that we have really nice cutouts. It's a perfect shape everywhere. I will note that the hardest of the buttons is the actual volume on-off button on the left side, and they've done a very nice job of having the button perfectly centered in there. So, great. Now, number two is that bezel, and I gotta say, there ain't much bezel. And where that's an issue is if my phone goes like this, I don't want the screen to absorb any of the impact. That's the job of the case. And the case, I suppose there's some here, but it's less than a millimeter. It is a tiny amount. They could do with more. Now, what they say is that the corners are a little higher. I don't see that. So in terms of having that raised edge around the phone, I'm not so thrilled about that. All right, number three, wireless charging, and it charges wirelessly. Groovy. So we're good to go. Now, this case is the Just Mobile 10C Air, and it will run you $24.95 at justmobile.com. So it's not an expensive case, and it certainly works in terms of protecting your back and giving you some edge impact protection, but my 2 cents, needs another millimeter of bezel to actually be a better case. Now, by comparison, Skinit has these cases, and they have mastered the art of cool designs. Look at that design. Tell me that's not cool. And they too have a dual case. So there's an inner rubber part. You can see this, and this is just a soft rubber. So that's our first layer of protection. Let's take the phone out of this Just Mobile one, put it in here. So here's our first layer of protection. And then this fits into the harder plastic. Let's get that in there too. And now we have a phone case, and I have to admit, I love Skinit cases. But now we have a phone case that is very interesting. So, how are our cutouts? As you can see in the close-up, they're pretty darn good. That one button that's a little problematic ends up being not quite centered, but still functional for you to be able to stick your fingernail in and get to it. So that's not great. But in terms of its bezel, well, again, it's just barely above the screen, maybe a fraction. I mean, we're talking like less than probably a millimeter, but a fraction more than the Just Mobile. So let me tell you though, these are the Skinit Impact. They sent me two different designs. So let me pull the other one out, because I love their designs. I love their designs. So this is their Orion Nebula design, and it is exactly the same case as this one, which is their Chromatic Splatter Black. And you know, there's no reason really to switch the phone between the two, because they are the exact same case with different images. Hard shell exterior, impact absorbing interior, and they use an ink-infused printing technology, which means that, and I know from experience, when you get one with the design, it will last years and years. It doesn't fade, it doesn't scratch, you don't end up having like buffing out the image, so you end up with just a straight plastic color or something. They do a really good job with that. These are a little more spendy at $39.99 at Skinit.com. And like I said, these are two of literally thousands of designs. They have sports teams, they have a whole Disney section, they got a ton of options. So, third question, so we have the cutouts, we have the bezel. Does it charge? The answer is yes, it charges too. Really no surprise. I haven't yet encountered a case that doesn't work with wireless Qi charging, so that's good. And this, of course, is a dual thickness because we have the hard exterior and then the rubber absorbing rubbery interior too. And through both of those, the wireless charging works just fine. So let me pick a winner. And I gotta say, my winner is the Skinit Impact. These are just great cases. Again, they could do with just a bit more bezel than they have, but you know, they win because their designs are gorgeous. And I have been using this one for a couple of weeks, and I have to say, people compliment me on my case. They want to check the case out, they want to know where I got it from, so that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to have that endorsement. I also really like that Skinit has very modest packaging. This is something that has a lot less negative environmental impact than this sort of box. And to be fair, this sort of box from Just Mobile also has pretty low impact compared to some of the other companies out there that go way overboard. Now, Just Mobile also sent me something else that I'm going to have to use over time, but these are two glass screen protectors, and they're both really nice. This is the XKIN. I'm going to say it's just pronounced Skin. This is the Skin, and this is the Skin 3D. And they're both 9H hardness. They're both 0.33 millimeters thick. They're both scratch resistant. I think it's a good idea to put them on your phone. Of course, ironically, it means that bezel's even shorter or smaller. So another reason for them to get a smidge more bezel on their cases. But the difference between the two is that the Skin itself at $19.95 is literally just glass that covers your screen. The Skin 3D actually has a black edge around it, so it's edge to edge, and it has that sort of going beyond the edges of your screen, so it gives you a little bit more protection, and this one's $29.95. So really nice. I'm sure these are going to be great. I don't need one right now because I already have a screen protector on my iPhone 11 Pro, and it seems a little goofy to take it off, throw it away, and put another one on just to see if it works. But over time, I'll have a chance to do that. So definitely stay tuned and really subscribe to my channel. Super beneficial because you can get to keep up. So we've gone through this set of things, some really nice stuff here. The winner of this particular roundup is the Skinit Impact. And I'm collecting all of my winners of all of these, and then I'm going to do a final shootout, a final comparison of all my favorite cases from all the different vendors, and we're going to come up with the one winner, the one case to rule them all. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe, and I will catch you in my next video.